Hey Aggies, need to get to Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth Metro, Austin, San Antonio, or other cities? Ditch the bus and try Hitch to book a guaranteed car ride. Hitch, comfy, safe, and affordable daily rides between Texas cities. As an official transportation provider, Hitch even has pickup locations right on campus. Download the Hitch app or visit ridehitch.com. Enter the code AggieLand for 30% off your first 4 rides. That's ridehitch.com. Welcome back to the Home Tour Podcast. It's your host, Hunter Mitchell, joined here by my co-host, Cade Harris.
We're back, but not really in a good mood.
And week one was the highest of highs, and now lowest of lows.
Yeah, just a complete 360 in vibe,
major
feeling,
tonal
expectations,
shift.
Just everything that you can think just shifted after this week for Texas A&M football. The fan base their vibes are completely different.
But to be fair with the fan base, that's how it's been for a long time.
That's
week
fair.
One was build the statue, and week two was burn it down.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of week two, it has just looked brutal during Jimbo's tenure. He only has one week two win, and that was the 10-7 performance against Colorado.
Back when Colorado was not a good football team.
Brutal in week two. Losses to Bama, a couple to Clemson, one to Appalachian State.
Which, man, you
wonder
what that comes down to.
I don't know. It could be a coincidence. I think
it's a weird
obviously
coincidence.
A lot of it has something to do with who they've been playing in week two. Obviously, 2 Clemson teams and an Alabama team, so you can give it a little bit of an asterisk there, but still.
But that also means
loss,
no big non-conference wins.
No, it doesn't. Just Colorado in a game that they maybe should have lost.
But in this week too, after the complete different game from the 17-9 game last year. Where that was just defense, this one was pure offense.
No touchdowns from Miami last year, and they decided that they were going to unleash all their touchdowns.
They were saving it.
Yeah, they were just like, let's just save it for our small fan base back in Miami.
Stockpiling it. So, I guess let's talk about what were the biggest glaring issues to you.
The obvious one is just the defense as a whole. Not getting enough pressure on the quarterback. The secondaries the corners and the safeties weren't looking good at all. Not the performance that they was given last week from, namely guys like Josh DeBerry. Javon Thomas got burnt a couple times. Just Damani Richardson, it looked like he got burnt several times. And then the tackling also was just bad. It looked like they were just bouncing off of us. We were like a springboard for them, which it's feel like that's been a problem for it's been an ongoing problem for them. I don't know if you remember, it felt like 2021 Arkansas. That's kind of how that tackling reminded me of. They were just bouncing off of us, and like I said, we were like a springboard for them. We weren't wrapping up, bringing them down.
Yeah. The biggest ones like Jordan Gilbert, DeBerry gets burnt on his assignment, gives up a long touchdown pass, could have knocked him out of bounds, maybe kept him at a field goal, and then tries to Ed Reed him out of bounds, and he just bounces off him, runs it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, just poor tackling, just not a good look at all from DJ Durkin and the defense.
Yeah, it's been, man, we could open up a store with all the broken records we have.
Yeah.
But
no kidding.
It's just been, how would you have this much D-line talent and you are not getting to the quarterback every play?
It really just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't have... Well, they do. I feel like they do have true edge rushers. It's just maybe the personnel isn't right. I'd like to see more of Eni White and Malik Silla. I think they bring good pressure off the edge.
Yeah, they have very... again, this is not in comparison in terms of performance or even size, but style of play, like a Deshaun Hall, like Miles
Tyree
Garrett,
Johnson.
Yeah, kind of like an like an edge rusher, like
Yeah,
speed guy.
we that's what they're lacking, a true edge rusher.
Because I mean, even Clemens, when he had
Yeah,
Michael Clemens, like he would bulldoze you sometimes, but he also had really good speed off the edge, and I think so often we see these D linemen, they're just trying to just bull rush like defensive tackles do, which works on the interior, but on the exterior, man,
it's not gonna work.
not gonna work.
Yeah.
And just couldn't get to the quarterback. Even the blitzes, I feel like the blitzes were very vanilla. The ones they
Mhm.
did dial up were very predictable.
Mhm. Yeah. Felt like, I mean, that's just what DJ Durkin's defense been in general. It's just very vanilla.
Yeah, and it just hasn't ever seemed to really look good or work.
Nope. I guess that, I mean, evaluating that hire as of today, it hasn't been great.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, there's still a lot more to go for him. He has a whole season to prove everyone wrong, but serious questions about Durkin and the defense after week 2.
Yeah, especially when your former defensive coordinator is now head coach at another Power 5 school and is cooking.
Beating Clemson,
He
something that
is cooking.
A&M failed to do in 2 years, and Mike
Yeah.
Elko did it year 2.
Yeah, Mike Elko looks stud. Miss him so much. Give him the max to bring him back.
Man, if they brought him back, I feel like, I mean, I feel like our next defense coordinator would be Elijah Robinson. Like, I feel like he would hire him from within.
Yeah, but that's a whole conversation of Jimbo leaving too.
That is true.
That's a separate can of worms right next to the Dirk and one
And
on
I
the
don't
shelf.
think he's leaving anytime soon. To
No.
make that clear.
Yeah, I think that
No
despite
matter
what the
how
fan
this
base
season
wants.
plays out. I mean, if they lose every game, then I think that we have a talk about that. But
yeah, if that happens, man,
if
oof.
this team wins 7-8 games, I still think Jimbo's here.
Yeah, but then I think the 24 year is the real deal because we could break down the 24
Yeah.
schedule, but it's a very very favorable schedule in terms of what opponents you have at home and what opponents you have on the road, where your quarterback's like primed to be, where your offense is primed to be.
And that's why you really, really wanted to get some momentum from this
Exactly.
season. And there's no telling what this team's gonna do for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So they could end up building that momentum, but it's not a good start.
No.
It's not a good start,
Not at all.
and it's gonna have to turn around pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you get your warm up of ULM one more time, and then you're right into the fire.
Right into the fire, into the I don't say the thick of conference play. I think they get probably a couple of the weaker teams. I mean, we just did our power
power
rankings,
ranking, yeah.
and it's literally our 6 and our 7 that they play first.
So
But then again, any team can beat any team, and A&M's
I mean, we
defense,
saw that last year. Auburn looked dead in the water, and A&M goes there and
and they can't score a point.
exactly. And so I mean, this we talked about like this was a very big momentum game, and it accelerated the Miami momentum to 70 miles per hour, dropped A&M down to school zone.
Yeah.
You really thought A&M was starting to accelerate and dropped it back down. ULM's going to bump it up a little bit, but they're really going to have to show up come conference play. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about the defense, but I mean offensive line didn't look the best.
No.
I mean they definitely
Still-
were below average.
Yeah, still a lot of questions about that offensive line. Maybe some personnel questions. I have no clue what Jimbo's thinking, what he might do on that offensive line. Me personally, I would play around and shift it up a little bit against ULM just to see what other options you can play with. Because I feel like there are others that are not contributing as well as some others maybe on the offensive line.
I will be devil's advocate here.
Okay.
And this has been a take I haven't seen a lot of people talking about. But well, firstly, thanks to our friend Carter Carls over at
247.
Yeah, 24/7.
Good guy. Good guy.
Connor Wigman had 2.5 seconds or more in the pocket on 29 of 57 of his dropbacks to Miami, which is 7th in the nation.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I saw that stat. It was pretty
eye-opening.
eye opening. Yeah.
But then he was also pressured 26 times.
Yeah.
What that tells me is that the offensive line did a good job in their regular blocking schemes, but when the blitz was dialed up, I think not, and this is not to the offensive line's part. You can't expect 5 linemen to block six, 5, 6, 7 guys rushing you.
Mm.
That falls on the quarterback's recognition awareness. And now I think Connor Wigman did awesome. I think he is looks like a really solid, really steady quarterback, and we talked about he's a game changer. But I think that there were times that he showed his like lack of game experience.
True.
I
And
think
Jimbo, I think, even mentioned it in the press
Yeah.
conference this week that there were a couple of times where he got a lot of pressure on him, which caused by him. It was he. I guess I forgot the exact quote or what exactly it was that he did, but there was something that he did that caused a lot of pressure to be brought to him.
Yeah, and I think that like as a quarterback, the most important. I mean, the blitz is not the end all like catch all like, oh, we got him, we're gonna get sacked because it's the blitz. The blitz is a gamble, and Miami kept gambling and they kept winning. It felt like they were playing with loaded dice. I always joke about and remember the Titans, how they, he always says, we're gonna blitz all night. I don't want them to gain another yard. He says that, and it's so funny as a football fan because every time I watch that, I'm like, well, just wait till they throw a screen. Like the blitz is not the catch-all. Like
you were calling for a screen the whole game.
Yes, I was, and we tried one time and he got swatted down, and then we didn't do it like again after that. The blitz is not the like magnum opus of plays because it's a gamble. Because when you lose on the blitz, you're gonna get toasted. Especially a corner blitz. If the corner is blitzing, that means someone out there, a wide receiver, is open. And there was one play specifically I remember that Miami sent a corner blitz, wide open through the gap, right between tackle guard. Wingman sees it, hits the O button, and just chunks it to Evan Stewart on the left sideline, who's in double coverage, and incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But right behind that blitzing cornerback is a wide open. I'm pretty sure it was Ruben Owens who maybe snuck out of the backfield, wide open. Would have been 10, 15, maybe even more yards.
Yeah.
So I think his lack of maturity is showing there in the sense that he really has to not always be going for that, like, we're going to get you now, deep ball to Evan Stewart or Noah Thomas. Find those where if the blitz is coming from somewhere, someone is going to be open.
Yeah.
That's how football works. It's man on a man. Like it's 11 on 11. So if someone is blitzing in, there's going to be somebody open, especially if it's a corner blitz like that. So I think that really was the biggest thing for me. And now, again, don't get me wrong, Connor Wigman made a lot of plays that like wouldn't have been made by any other quarterback simply because he had to. But I think putting all the blame on the offensive line is misplaced judgment.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that. At times, like, there were a little questioning about the play call. Sometimes it looked like Jimbo was calling plays again, but I think they'll be fine offensively. And yeah, you talk about that experience with Connor. This whole offseason, like looking at this Miami game, that's the one thing I was worried about. Was like, it's gonna be his second game, and he's going on the road to a Power 5. He's never won on the road. And so that's just what I was worried about, the inexperience. And I think he did better than kind of what I was predicting towards in the offseason. I knew this defense was going to take a step back. I just didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Yeah, that was really that was what was most jarring about this game.
I just felt like Connor did enough to where this team should have won the game.
Yeah, no, and don't get me wrong. What I said, it's kind of finding the finer points of Connor Wigman. He put on an excellent performance for his first really true road game. Offense put up 33 points.
Yeah,
like 33 points is.
I mean, that would have been, I think, the second place score for last year's team.
Yeah,
they scored 38 against LSU and then 31 against Sam.
A Miami defense who's not a slouch at
Not
all.
at all. Two NFL safeties who
Yeah, prayers up to Kitchens.
Kitchens,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean James Williams, man, that guy was just hitting the whole game. Like he came out with murder on his mind that whole game. But yeah, just them and mix that with a stout defensive line. That was a solid defense that they were playing, and
Mm,
so I mean. I feel like there can be a little bit of hope and confidence gained from that. I think even Anais said that in his press conference. This after everything that was going on in the game, the conditions of the field. I mean, none of them actually came out and said like that they were actually truly affected, but I feel like they were probably affected. I mean, you obviously see it with the slips,
yeah.
Anaya slipping with the pick. But yeah, he was just saying, with all the circumstances going on, to still score 33 points, it's encouraging, and they have a little bit of confidence in them.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like ULM is the perfect kind of Play-Doh game to you can kind of dictate it like how you want,
Hmm.
try new things, figure things out. People are, if you try some things out and they don't work, you may freak out some people and get their expectations shivering going into conference play. But I think ULM is the perfect game after a Miami game like this to figure something out.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad they're not jumping into conference play playing
Yeah,
Auburn this week because
yeah,
I don't think I'd predict them to win right now. But just I think that they're gonna need this week a lot to figure things out. Just get on a roll.
yeah. I'd like to see more Amari Daniels. I think he had a lot. He had some runs there that looked really good. He hit the hole really fast, and he's got that Isaiah Spiller esque thing where he falls forward.
Hmm.
Like when he runs through the hole, he's not getting stuffed and pushed back. He falls forward.
Hmm.
He's got a really good shoulder that he lowers when he runs to the trenches. I think he's got really good outside speed as well. I want to see more of him.
I do too. I mean, so it appears Le'Veon was a little bit
Banged up.
banged up coming
And
in.
we talked about it. We thought that maybe Jimbo would settle on a RB1, RB2 kind of thing, but
Yeah, but
didn't
no.
look that way.
Yeah, I guess just Le'Veon was inactive,
So we
so
may even see three running backs again.
we
But I mean,
could.
from what I saw from Le'Veon or sorry, from Mari Daniels, he looked really good.
Yeah. No, I don't care who it is. I want to see the
Yeah,
the run game play more of a factor. It has
exactly.
to. Like
Yeah.
like we talked about in our power rankings episode. Just I think it was Florida who we were talking about. We just like to see more from the run game,
Yeah.
and
I feel like if you're
you
gonna
need
pass
you
like you
have to
are,
have a run game to win in the SEC.
yeah, 100%. Like if you're gonna pass, if
You,
you're gonna pass the ball efficiently, you need to have a complementary run
yeah,
game.
and they just haven't really had that too much.
It looked like it for a few drives that
It
they were
did, and
going
then it
to,
just looked like
and
they went
stop.
away from it a little bit.
Yeah, it
I don't know if that was because of the score or what was going on there, but yeah, it just felt like they went away from it a little bit.
yeah. So what do you want to see from this team? Kind of going to ULM. Like what do you want to see for them like tuning up and fine tuning before SEC play?
Um, yeah, huh. I mean, it's kind of hard to answer that because I mean, I want to see the corners playing good, and I want to see the offensive line
Hmm.
playing better. I want to see more pressure on the quarterback.
Do you think
But
that has to be
it,
against
I
better
almost,
competition?
I almost expect that against a team like ULM.
Yeah, I
So if I
understand.
don't see that, then I'm like
Really
really,
worried.
really, because we saw all that against New Mexico.
Yeah.
We saw a great defensive back play. I mean, we were coming out of that game pretty high on Josh DeBerry.
Hmm.
Now, probably
He
not
looked.
the highest.
Yeah, he looked pretty rough.
He went back down, to pretty normal, pretty average, and I don't know. I guess really what I really truly want to see when it comes down to it is just a team that comes out and plays mad,
Yeah.
and they don't let ULM hang on for even just a little bit of hope in the second half. I want them to go
Hmm.
out there and assert their dominance from the start, like they did against New Mexico, um, and just play a complete team game and blow them out of the water. I don't want to see any just upset alert thing going down on the ticker. If you're watching on ESPN and seeing a halftime score of A&M close to ULM or trailing them, like this team needs to come out and dominate for me to get a little bit of hope and confidence back.
Yeah, so you're saving your like what you want to see more for Auburn.
Yeah,
not the following.
I just think so. Yeah, I just want to see a team that's not sleepwalking and focusing on next week.
You want to see them go out there and take care of business this week.
Take care of business and
What might even
assert
say?
your dominance. Execute.
Execute. It's coming. It's
They
going
need.
on me.
I want to see them execute Order 66 all over ULM.
Wow. So yeah. So this week, I mean, after Miami, it's kind of a bummer to go 3 p.m. Game against ULM, but
It's gonna be hot.
yeah, it's gonna be extremely warm. I'm so excited that I'm gonna be in the press box. But so this is really just kind of your game. Take care of business. Get suited up, get ready for conference play. But
Yep.
for us, that's our breakdown of the Miami game, preview for ULM. That's all we got for this episode this week. I'm Hunter Mitchell.
I'm Cade Harris.
Thank you for listening to the Home Turf Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.